Crypto Market Update, November 10th, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoMania, the channel where we break down the latest moves, market shifts, and the stories that really matter in the world of crypto. Today's episode is packed with major updates from November 10th, 2025. Bitcoin is back above the $106,000 mark. Ethereum has seen strong inflows, and altcoins like XRP and Solana are making surprising comebacks. Meanwhile, U.S. political news, especially around the potential end of the government shutdown, is adding fuel to risk markets. We'll also talk about how digital asset treasury firms are taking new risks with fringe tokens, and why analysts are both bullish and cautious at the same time. So sit back, relax, hit that like button, and let's dive straight in. Section 1. The Big Picture. Global Crypto Overview. Over the last 24 hours, the entire crypto market has seen a renewed wave of optimism. According to market data, the global market capitalization climbed to roughly $3.5 trillion, marking an increase of over 4% day over day. Bitcoin alone contributes more than 45% of that total, proving once again that institutional players still see it as the market anchor. Ethereum followed with a 5.4% gain, showing strong volume growth, especially in North American and Asian markets. But what's really fueling this upward move? Two key factors. One, expectations that the U.S. government shutdown might soon end, reducing uncertainty in traditional markets. And two, renewed investor appetite for high-risk assets after a brief consolidation earlier in the month. In simpler terms, as macro fear eases, traders are rotating back into crypto. And that rotation isn't just retail hype. Data shows a steady uptick in institutional wallet inflows across both BTC and ETH. Section 2. Bitcoin, holding above $106,000. Let's start with the king of crypto, Bitcoin, BTC. As of November 10th, 2025, it's trading at around $106,082, showing a strong rebound of roughly 4% within a single day. Now, the big question is, can it stay here? Because the last few weeks have been a roller coaster, with BTC briefly dropping below 100K, shaking weak hands out of the market. According to a recent Barron's report, Bitcoin's ability to stay above the 106K to 107K range is seen as a positive short-term signal. This zone acts as both psychological and technical support, where large buyers, often institutional desks and algorithmic funds, tend to step in. Even Institutopedia analysts outline two bullish targets: a short-term breakout toward $120,000 and a long-term projection that stretches as high as $200,000 depending on ETF flows and macro conditions. But not everyone's convinced. Some traders argue that the market is still fragile, that this bounce could be more of a relief rally than a genuine start of a new bull phase. That's why it's crucial to watch volume data, not just price. If the next few sessions bring strong buying volume, the move could confirm itself. If not, Bitcoin might retest lower supports near 100K again. In other words, this week is a turning point. Either Bitcoin stabilizes and sets up a new base for growth, or we're heading back into consolidation territory. Section 3. Ethereum, XRP, and the altcoin comeback. Now let's shift our focus to the altcoin universe, because this weekend they've been on fire. Ethereum, ETH, rose by 5.4%, reclaiming ground above key technical levels. Analysts say this move was driven by a rise in network activity and smart contract deployment, particularly from decentralized finance protocols, also known as DeFi. With new staking incentives rolling out and the Shanghai upgrade fully stable, ETH's yield appeal remains strong. Then comes XRP, which had one of the most impressive 24-hour performances, up 8.5% to around $2.50. The rally appears linked to renewed optimism over a possible spot ETF filing, following reports that regulatory review may be nearing completion. Over on the Solana network, Sol added nearly 4.8%, driven by growth in gaming-related NFT volumes and liquidity mining incentives. Solana continues to position itself as the fast chain for everything, competing heavily in both the NFT and DeFi segments. So while Bitcoin dominates the headlines, altcoins are quietly regaining strength, hinting at a possible early phase of what traders like to call mini-alt season. However, it's worth noting, while altcoins are rising, their volatility is extreme. For long-term investors, that means position sizing and portfolio balance are more important than ever. Section 4. Institutional behavior and treasury risk shift. Now here's a story you don't hear every day. Crypto treasury companies are taking new risks. According to a recent Reuters investigation, several digital asset treasury firms, also referred to as DATs, are pivoting toward fringe or low-cap tokens in an attempt to chase higher yields. Why is that risky? Because many of these fringe tokens lack deep liquidity, reliable security audits, or long-term adoption prospects. When institutional entities begin to play in these markets, volatility tends to spike, creating both opportunity and danger. One analyst told Reuters that this strategy could backfire if macro conditions suddenly tighten again or if a major DeFi exploit occurs. Still, the move highlights how confident or desperate some treasury firms have become in their hunt for yield. The takeaway for retail traders? Be aware that professional players can now influence even small-cap projects, which may lead to unpredictable price swings. Always research before following hype, especially if it's institutional money entering unknown coins. Section 5. Macro factors: politics, economy, and the dollar. The broader environment continues to play a critical role in crypto's trajectory. The U.S. government shutdown, which has been ongoing for several weeks, is reportedly moving toward resolution. Markets responded positively. Risk assets like stocks and crypto rallied on the expectation that stability may return soon. Meanwhile, the U.S. dollar index, or DXY, has weakened slightly, giving additional breathing room to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Historically, when the dollar dips, crypto tends to rise because investors rotate into higher-risk assets. Additionally, bond yields are down slightly, suggesting that global investors are once again seeking alternatives with better potential returns, and that often leads them back to crypto. However, analysts caution that once the shutdown officially ends, volatility could spike again as liquidity rebalances between markets. Section 6. Market psychology and retail behavior. Let's talk about sentiment, because emotions often move markets as much as numbers do. Right now, the Fear and Greed Index is at 63, leaning toward greed, meaning traders are becoming more confident again. Social media chatter, especially on X, Twitter, and Reddit's crypto boards, is dominated by bullish memes, ETF speculation, and next 10x coin talk. But remember, these are classic signs of early euphoria. Experienced investors see this as a reminder to manage risk, not chase the crowd. As one trader famously said, "When everyone's greedy, prepare your exit plan. When everyone's fearful, start your entry plan." So what does all this mean for you, the everyday crypto investor or enthusiast? Here are a few key takeaways. 1. Stay disciplined. Don't buy impulsively just because the market is green. 2. Watch volume and inflows. They often tell the truth before price does. 3. Diversify wisely. Keep a mix of BTC, ETH, and only a few solid altcoins you truly understand. 4. Use stop losses. Even long-term investors should know where they're wrong. 5. Keep an eye on regulation. With ETF approvals, the next phase of mainstream adoption could be closer than many expect. Crypto success isn't just about catching waves, it's about surviving the storms between them. And that wraps up today's deep dive on the crypto market for November 10th, 2025. As we can see, things are heating up again, but smart investors know that every rally comes with responsibility. Patience, research, and discipline are your best tools. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new update from CryptoMania. And let us know in the comments, what's your current top coin pick? And where do you think Bitcoin will go next week? This is CryptoMania, helping you stay smart, stay safe, and always stay in the game. See you in the next episode.